week 5 is always a pivotal week for me because I feel like this is the week where it's like, okay, I'm facing a different kind of DFS player, or I'm facing a different type of sports book. There's more information out there. There's, a lot more data to back it up. But here's the thing I think that goes underappreciated with how many people can make this mistake is sometimes people will pay attention at this point too much to the data. They'll rely too much on the snap shares or the target shares and be like, well, this is what I've seen, at this point. So there's still an edge. And I think every week is different. And if you just kind of approach it with that mentality of like, okay, this pocket of games told me this, what is real about that and what isn't? I think that is very important. And so that's why I bring these guys together each week. Donnie, Gov, how are we doing?
Doing good.
Good. Do we want to just get right into the random number?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I'm gonna go 35. Garrett Crochet. He won us one playoff game in Boston.
Yeah, let me go number 9 because I feel bad for Stafford. I feel like that game got ripped away from him last night.
I'm gonna give it to you 100. So let's go with 99.
It is 6. So quite opposite.
Okay, that's how we do this.
So I got the first pick then. By the way, our show pick.
That means I get the first pick in the lineup, Bill.
It's true. But our first collective pick this week, the one that we agree on, is the Panthers over the Dolphins. So
the Panthers plus 1.5 at home against the Dolphins is the line we're at.
Yep, that's our show pick.
And we always review it on usually Tuesday. So if you guys haven't watched that show, I actually like that show better, but this one is kind of more fun. So
that's where we revealed that we did not get our survivor pick through, taking the Chargers. Sad.
That's true. We did not. By the way, a lot of people lost this week already because a lot of people took the Rams.
Rams were favored, like 6-point favorites, I believe.
Hey,
almost.
Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne legacy games on Thursday Night Football. I can't complain about that.
Because I knew Mac Jones was going to give. I was saying to myself, I'm like, Kendrick Bourne's the dude with all these wide receivers out who could get 10 targets just because it's Mac Jones.
I told Logan he was doing showdown builds, and I told him, listen, I don't want to build tonight because I don't like the DK stuff, how the pricing was. But I said, if you play, you got to play some Kendrick Bourne. You have to have Kendrick Bourne.
I played 3 lineups. 2 of them had Kendrick Bourne in the flex. The other one was a DeMarcus Robinson captain with no Kendrick Bourne.
Oh. Okay, so
if only. Oh.
So 2 cashed, 1 cash at least?
None.
Oh, God.
All lineups had Puka and McCaffrey.
We're talking Thursday a little bit. Gov, yesterday morning I got a bet that was Kendrick Bourne to have 39.5 receiving yards, and then Puka 4.5 receptions. He hit that at halftime, and then I doubled down and went and got 76.5 for Bourne and 7.5 receptions for Puka, and it was, I had a good night. I had like $12 profit.
Well, you could have done that a third time and went to 109 and catches and it'd been fucking golden.
I could have.
That does speak to it, how you should ladder these opportunities. When we see an opportunity, you should smash it. Like, that's where you got to have your bankroll.
You definitely could have 3 or 4 rung that ladder for Puka and.
I did a third one with another. I had a lot of profit boosts for Thursday Night Football, so I just had to use them. I felt like how I was playing, and I got when Kyron had 29 receiving yards and McCaffrey had 44, and it was a 20-20 game. Right before it was a 20-20 game, I got 30 receiving yards for Kyron and 60 for McCaffrey. I was like, this is stupid. How they're just giving me free bets, basically.
Yeah.
And they took it.
I think
they took the bet.
That actually does speak well to this week and just how you have to explore edges and find value. Because on FanDuel, I told everyone, even people who don't play on FanDuel, to play this on Thursday because Mac Jones was $1K. He was $1,000 ago. I don't know if you know that. I don't know why he was that price. It was obviously a misprice. But when they do things like that, it's almost like a free roll.
Show you the sites.
No. Gov, what do you think? What do you think 1K Mac Jones was owned at in that contest that Logan's talking about?
%. He was the starting quarterback in his minimum salary.
He was only 59%.
100%.
He was only 59%.
Maybe at MVP.
No.
No. He was 39% at MVP.
40% of the people are dumb. Like at that price,
Yeah.
starting quarterback. Like what
Yeah.
are you expecting? Were 40% of the field also playing Adrian Martinez?
I don't know. That actually is a good point. Did they just get so crazy with it? They were like, you know what? Because we almost
Because Purdy was out. That was known. There's no not knowing that Brock Purdy's not playing.
It was stupid. It was so dumb.
We did almost see Martinez, by the way, which we are UFL guys. We would have loved it. But so I was just telling everyone, but that just speaks to, you said it should be 100. I agree it should be 100. Donnie was astonished. That tells you that there's still edges out there. You know, as much as there's projections.
All the sites are different. Like on FanDuel and Yahoo or FanDuel, it was $1,000 Mac Jones. Yet on DraftKings, they had Garoppolo priced up off of the backup quarterback price because
they're smarter.
Maybe, I don't know. Has Garoppolo come in for Stafford? Maybe
he hasn't
at the end
come
of the game
in
or
yet,
something?
but
they just price up the valuable backups quite a lot. DraftKings does.
All right. That's enough Thursday Night Football. We don't need to talk more about that, I don't think.
No, I think
we can move on to week 5.
A
solid 10-game slate after we get through the London. Well, we have to get through the London game, which, surprise, I think Cleveland can win this game.
I do too. But Logan, what's your pick here?
You are the first pick, yes.
I'll just take it because I like it. It transitioned very well. I want the Cleveland Browns at 4.5. I think Gabriel should have been starting this whole time. I like Gabriel out of Oregon. He actually has some rushing ability, which Stefanski likes. That kind of his offense. I feel like it's meant to be like a play action, bootleg on the move kind of offense, and he's never really had that quarterback because they've always convinced him to go with the veteran. I just think his offense will thrive in a position like that. You got Fenton, you got all these rookies, even giving Donnie another boost of credit. Isaiah Bond, I picked up in season long this week. He's looking good. It's just time to give those young guys a chance. I think 4.5 is too much. The Vikings are really banged up. I like that.
That defense for the Vikings has to carry them. And to be fair, Gabriel is going to take what the defense gives them, and that's something Flores defenses are fine with. Flores will give you the short stuff. So it's just up to Gabriel to not make a mistake, and I that kind of plays into what Gabriel does well. I don't love Gabriel as a talent, but he should be able to be competitive this week.
Well, I just like it because it opens up with the coaching, like what the scheme and what the coaches actually want to do. So I think when you look at that, it's a talent addition just because they can actually run the offense Stefanski wants to run.
All right. I am going to be quick. I know this might come back to bite me. I think it's going to be a high-scoring, explosive game. I think 49.5 is too low of a number. And I think the Hover's just going to smash. I don't know how it's going to go overall. But 8.5 for the Pats that are playing so well offensively, I think is a lot. And there's a lot of revenge narrative for the Patriots here. They got, you got Diggs, you got Matt Collins. I like the 8.5 number.
It is a proven.
If it was 6.5, if it was 6.5, I would not do it. I'm specifically saying I don't think the Patriots are a full 2 possessions worse than the Bills. I think it's closer than that.
I think it's farther away.
You think it should be 10?
Yeah.
I can't.
Right. So what are we getting? New England plus what?
8.5.
8.5.
8.5 is a big number.
Yo, do you think that's enough? I think the Bills are. The problem with the Bills is they play down to their competition, but I don't.
Their defense isn't great. Their defense is. It hasn't shown up really yet.
See, but you value that Patriots defense way more than I do.
I value the pass defense, yes.
Yeah.
And the pass rush has been one of the best pass rushers all year, and the secondary is really good. That's a recipe to be a pretty competitive football team, as long as you're not making a ton of mistakes.
It is a perfect week, like I said. This is a pivotal game.
Like I said, if it was 6.5, I wouldn't take it. 8.5 is too much for me.
Gov, any thoughts?
It's not something I'm looking at, but like now that you make me dig in, I check the stats. I'm like, okay. To be fair, they're not getting a lot of sacks. They do get decent pressure for not really blitzing all that much. But they also don't see a lot of pass plays, so they don't really have the ability to get sacks.
And that's why I'm saying it's a perfect week, because I think this game is like going to show you the identity of both of these teams. Like, is Drake May actually going to lead this Patriots team to where they want to go? You know, is he going to take that step? I think this game goes a long way in proving that. Even if you guys don't win, if you keep it competitive, Donnie, to your point, I think proves a lot.
They do let wide receivers be open, though. That's the real problem with Buffalo, is that they get solid pressure for not having people pass on them, but
yeah,
they kind of, their secondary's kind of ass.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, you get Matt Collins, you get Diggs, like, they want to prove something. Like, there's stuff.
You have not impressed me with who you want to attack this Buffalo secondary with. Like, that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me.
For the
I get your premise, and the stats look good, but you lose me at I'm gonna kill them with Matt Collins.
No, I'm not saying they're gonna kill Mario Douglas. They're not. No. Pop needs to get out of the rotation. He's not on the same wavelength at all. I think Pop's a fine player.
That's where you lose me on that one. That's where
I buy it.
I'm up with you all the way until we get to there.
You know,
I want to see what Kyle Williams is.
He's not getting as much work as I thought he would early. And I think he deserves it over Pop, because Pop and Drake May are not on the same page at all. And that matters a lot. Anyway, Gov, you got two.
I got two crazy ones. Do you want two crazy ones?
Listen, I love crazy. I just took a crazy.
I'm going with teams that I think I believe in. I'm looking at the stats. So, first off, give me Las Vegas. I believe it is +6.5, or is it +7 on DK?
Let me look.
Versus Indy.
Actually, no.
Raiders versus Indy.
It is 7 last I saw. You're getting a full touchdown for the Raiders.
It is 7, yeah.
Give me the tutty for the Raiders. I'll take the points there. They are not a bad team, and they're coached well. Like, they're not, like, making a bunch of mistakes. Gino might airmail a pass or two, but that's Gino.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's going to happen.
Gino leads
starting to get rolling. If they're kind of healthy, Bowers and the plethora of other receivers is like
Bowers didn't
down the field
yesterday.
I know that's the real hurt, but like that just means a heavier game for Myers and Tucker.
They said his knee is doing better, but apparently he's still going to wear the brace. So there's some positive there. The reason I like that, Gov, is because the Colts, as good as and explosive as they are, like we saw it with Mitchell, they have just shot themselves in the foot in ways. Like, for as good as they have been, and they have been like that surprising team, they could have been so much better. Like they played very bad and were still competitive with that Rams team. So if they kind of don't take the Raiders very serious, I could see the Raiders easily covering 7.
All right.
Next one. I think that is crazy, though. That is a crazy one.
Then you're going to love my second one, because it's probably crazy. Because this is the one that the stats, like, I'm listening to the stats this week as they're now, like, we're 4 weeks in. So we've had enough games from teams that when I look at their defensive stats, I know what their defense wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
How much they were blitzing, how much pressure they're getting, stuff like that. I can tell the same thing looking at offensive stats. How well was the offensive line working? Were they able to run the ball when they tried? Were they able to pass? third downs, or were they passing on first down a lot? Like those sorts of trends. I can start to see what offenses and defenses wanted to do. And I'm gonna take the Broncos plus 3.5 because they look good.
Cincinnati was so bad that I probably should give Denver more credit, but Cincinnati was so bad in that game, I think it downgraded how good Denver looked, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now I don't know.
I like
I was
Denver
gonna say,
here. I wanted that.
And to be fair, this isn't even mostly on Denver's offensive stats.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think Philly looks like Buffalo when it comes to the stats. Like you're talking about mid-level pressure, not really blitzing, only like 25% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not really getting any sacks. Like I think Philly only has like 7 on the year. So like when I look at those kinds of stats, it's like, oh, Buffalo and Philadelphia look exactly the same. The only difference is Philly's corners are actually halfway decent. That's about it. Quinyon Mitchell is better than whoever the hell the top corner for Buffalo is.
Right.
That's basically the only difference between the two teams.
I'll be honest.
Look, at least through 4 weeks, which seems crazy. You would not expect. Like what we just said about Buffalo. I'm basically saying the same thing about Philadelphia.
Philly has
That's
not
how
looked
I'm
good
looking
this
at their
year,
defense
like,
when I look at the stats. So, like, you would think that might change, but I'm willing to lean into it and be like, maybe Philly can cover Sutton, but no one else is going to be really covered.
well,
So, and, like, Philly is still giving up solid yak. So, like, when they don't tackle, Philly's done.
I think the biggest knock on Philly is their offensive line has been bad this year. Like, it hasn't even been okay. It's not been good.
And Denver's defense also looks really good, top of the league in a lot of these metrics. So, like, you look at it the other way, Denver's D versus Philly's offense, as opposed to Philly's D versus Denver's. I think Denver not only could easily covers, they upset.
I could see an upset coming.
Give me the Broncos here, plus the points.
I have it in my personal portfolio as well. I would go as far to say that if it was any other team that not coming off a Super Bowl pedigree where we've seen them innovate the game the way the Eagles have with the tush push and like how well they've marketed themselves as like an innovative team, I think if it was any other team, we'd admit they don't look good. Maybe they'll get it turned around, but right now they deserve to miss the playoffs. Like they're playing that bad.
I mean, they look a lot like Kansas City last year. Like there's just things that are wrong.
Last year they were 2-2 going into an early bye week.
Yeah.
And turned it around and won like 11 straight and made the Super Bowl and won.
And they are that is correct. And I think that's why they're coasting and that's why they get the credit they've gotten because they've been there. They're like that loan shark that like, oh, I can loan these people money because I know they have shown the pedigree and they deserve that pedigree. I just don't know if it's the same year. I would actually be a seller of the Eagles.
I'm concerned because the run game isn't working. If the pass game not working, I could get past, but the run isn't working.
You started to expect Saquon like after a 2,000-yard season, basically. Like, I mean,
no, yes, I agree.
You're gonna take a step back. The run game's not gonna look as good.
No, I didn't expect it to look as good, but I expected Saquon to be in top 10 in yards before contact. He's bottom 10 in yards before contact as a running back. That's not
might
Eagles.
Be scheme.
That's offensive line.
To me, is offensive line and scheme more than running.
It's not a Saquon diss. It's
like how can Saquon be at fault for getting hit 2 yards in the backfield, 1 yard in the backfield?
Right.
That's the offensive line not blocking or the scheme allowing a dude right through to do that.
And that's what I'm concerned about, because if Saquon looked like slower or didn't have a burst that he did, I don't think that's the problem. I think
he looks fine to me.
It's the trenches, and that's concerning.
Yeah, but that's it. Like after a Super Bowl year, your offensive line is gas. You need to give them a nice year to coast back down before you can grind back up, or you need to draft an extra offensive lineman or two.
They lost some starters last year.
That's true. So it's not as good. Like that makes sense. And I think people haven't realized that, but like 4 weeks of stats are starting to show me that their defense is good, but not as good. Their offense is good, but not as good. Philly, this is definitely going to be a step back year for Philly. But I don't know if this is like San Fran's step back year when they go to the Super Bowl where all of a sudden they're like a 500 team. Philly's still probably going to have 10, 11 wins.
If the Eagles step back from a Super Bowl win, that could literally just mean they win the Super Bowl again, but not by 40 this year.
No, it probably means they lose in the title game or the divisional round or something.
Think that will happen.
But they might still win the division. They just won't be a 13-win team going to the Super Bowl. They'll win the division with like 10, 11 wins and then lose to the Rams.
Yeah, outside of the Rams or the Bucks, I don't think the Rams and the Bucks are their biggest challenge because they just match up well against them, and that's it. If they get
the Rams and the Bucks are most likely to have playoff advantage. Like, let's say Philadelphia wins the division, but they win it with 11 wins. That might make them third.
It could.
Which means they'll be going to Los Angeles or going to Tampa or going to Detroit for their playoff game. And that's the one they probably lose.
We kind of got there in a reverse order, but I actually got an interesting question off that. It just popped up as we were speaking here. Who would you take in a redraft if we were going to redraft best ball again and we had the first pick? Would it be Chase or would it be Barkley?
It's Puka.
No, I'm saying you had to choose between either Barkley or Saquon. So basically, who do you believe actually could turn it around?
I was not really on either. Like, I of course I wasn't on Puka for the number one, but like a Chase, I would still say Chase because I would have presumed Burrow.
Yeah. No, I'm saying now with the information you have, Donnie, who do you trust going forward this season? If you had to choose one of them,
Chase, I still think he's more likely to be on the field longer.
Longer, yeah.
I don't think either are good picks, though.
No,
I always feel like that the top three people being drafted is always overdrafted anyway.
And we have some Barkley shows, but I'll be honest, I'm more actually excited with some of the late round picks where we got, Puka and we have Genty and even like Brian Thomas because we got him so late and we had that turn pick. I feel like we have more hope in that. Like if you have Chase at 1, your team is hurting because most likely you drafted Burrow earlier too. I think it's my pick though, right?
It's mine. It's mine.
Yours.
And
is Donnie? What is
I'm gonna stick with primetime games, and I'm just gonna go Kansas City. I don't buy this Jaguars 3.5. Like I don't think the Jags are as good as their record shows. I'm not buying into the Jags. I don't think the Jags are good.
No. Donnie, I'm going to call you out. You're trying to get some equity because just a couple weeks ago, you went on a huge ass rant about how the dynasty of the Chiefs is over.
I did not say the dynasty was over. I said that they were failing Patrick Mahomes, and I still think they are. I think Patrick
Calm down, Skeeter. You will pull up the tape. Don't worry.
I said they were failing Mahomes and they should be ashamed of themselves. That's what I said.
So you want to take the, what is it, -3? I have it on
-3.5 is what it's at right now.
-3.5.
I would love it at -3.
And you want the Monday night hammer.
Yeah.
You took the Sunday night hammer and the Monday night hammer.
Yeah, I'm not even going to know. You guys are going to be done and I'm not even going to know.
Okay.
You're going to know you're going to be down 0-2 after my picks. That's what you're going to know.
Yeah, I could lose both and you could win both and you'd still be chasing me. All right?
Yeah, it's a long season, buddy. Long season. You know that. I've been down before. You can go back to the records. I was down year 1.
You were down year 2.
All the way to the end, then I won.
Same thing as you two. Yeah, I know. Your data saves you. Your data is better than my eye test.
No matter how it works, though, he can always use that against you guys. Because if you win, he'll be like, well, your computer saved you. And if you lose, he'll be like,
Logan, what's your second?
I admit his data is better than my eye test.
No, your eye test is good. It's not bad. My data comes with eye test. Like all those pressures I'm like that Philadelphia isn't getting, I can go back and watch that on film. Yeah, that was good pressure.
But to come full circle,
that was straight up the offensive line on the other side. Whiffed. Good pressure, whiff. I can go back and look and see how many of them were actually Philly playing well. Like if I really want to go back and watch all 53 or whatever pressures they got this year.
As we transition to lineup, so that was kind of what I was proving off the top of the show when I said, like, now we have this data and now people will start plugging it into their projection models and we'll start to really see some edges go. But you still got to be able to read that data. Like you could say, like, this is the best projection website and like this is how I do it and this is what I plug in. But unless I know how to interpret that information, it's not as valuable, even if it is somewhat valuable. And I think that is important. It's like you have to have a balance between, okay, this is what I want to happen. Now, how do I use the data or the projections to like get rid of my bias or lean into my bias when I'm correct?
All right, what's your last pick, Logan?
Oh, I forgot to even give it to you. It's the Chargers at 2.5 against the Commanders.
I
actually like the other side of that bet. That's crazy.
I really like this week's slate in general. I think this slate is awesome. I think the spreads are awesome. I like the props. I just really like this week.
Minus 2.5, right?
Yeah, I like a Super Bowl caliber team coming off an embarrassing loss. Justin Herbert had all the momentum for a good reason. I think he is an MVP candidate. I still think he is. I was very tempted to bet it, especially with Lamar Jackson being out. They had a bad performance, but like that just played into the Giants' scheme so well. Like they had a really dominant defensive line against an offensive line that was injured mid-game. You know, they hadn't prepared for injuries, obviously, and I think they caught him at the right time. But I expect the Chargers to bounce back.
All right, Golf, you got pick one. Where you got us?
No quarterback.
Right. Let's see.
New.
Let's see. We'll start here. It's been a fun little week doing some extra research. I've had some time off. Now,
how many practice builds you got? Like, how many do you normally do in a week?
Usually, I build one a day.
One a day
until Saturday night, and then I might build like 5 or 6 more, and I'll pick the 3 I want, and those are my 3 for the weekend.
Yeah, we're similar.
But like I'll take in certain knowledge and I'll build one. So like first one is like a first look, just based off of what we had seen Monday night, basically. Second one I built on Wednesday. That's after me doing some research specifically on the defenses and such, and listening to the first looks that other places do, like the Forecast and Stochastic and their stuff. Build lineup there. Then yesterday I built one doing my research on quarterbacks and other positions that I was specifically looking at as I'll go through week to week.
So is that more your stacks then? Is that more where you're like, I like this quarterback?
That's where I like to start with, yeah. So like once I do my overview of the weekend and then my overview of what everyone else sees, that's when I'll do my research starting with quarterback. Like I still have to finish wide receiver. I will say that right now. I will be doing that today so that tomorrow when I talk with everyone in Discord, I'll have my full knowledge. But like I'm good and set for running back. I'm good and set for tight end. I'm good and set for defense. And I have my stacks.
So that means
like everyone's talking Justin Fields. So like
really?
That's gonna be a fun way.
That disappoints me. I thought I would. I thought
everyone seems to be talking Justin Fields. It looks like Daniel Jones is getting ownership too. After that, I think it kind of starts to fall off.
Yeah, there's
I have a stack I like if we get to it. But like I said, the one thing I sort of have set right now, I think, is running back. Running back, again, a lot of stuff this week. We've got injured running backs, so there's value and multiple teams at cheap running back if we want to play a 4K guy. There's high-end guys in really good spots. There's mid-range dudes who also look good. So I think we just plug in something solid, probably going to be something owned, but let's just get it out of the way. We're going to play A-Chain. with my first pick.
I like that. Look, we usually have like at least 2 or 3 like sub 10K owned players at some point anyways. So I don't think we got to worry about ownership the way we build. I like it a lot.
This week, like, it's probably going to be a little more spread out just because looking at like the literal like games, like what do we have? It's a smaller slate, which you would think would condense it. But then we look at the games, 48, 48, 48, 47, 45, 45. Like there's 3 games that you would want to throw out. But even those 3 games, there's at least 1 or 2 players you'd want to play from them.
The only reason I'm not playing more of Etienne is because I'm playing a lot of Waddle myself. But I understand because you're attacking that Carolina run defense, right?
Just basically like A-Chain's going to be the focal point of the offense. And yes, my defense has not been able – like they are better against the pass than the run. So like people still don't understand that. And I think Waddle's pulling ownership because of no Tyreek, so people are going to want to play him. But I think A-Chain is really the better play of the Miami back.
I love this because
or of the Miami playmakers at all.
It totally reminds me of our Christian McCaffrey like diet play from last night, where it's like, oh, we know where the target's probably going to funnel to since they don't have Tyreek Hill. We might see, we talk about Christian McCaffrey might see like 13 or 14 targets with Mac Jones last night. That's pretty much, right on par with what we saw. We could easily get that with A-Chain this week. Donnie, did you want to say something about this pick? I think you like it, right? Or no?
I like it. I did my dummy lineups about an hour before we got on, and I was 50-50. I had $400 or $7,400, and I was like, do I go with the correlation and just go with Derrick Henry, or go with the he's going to get 7 targets probably in A-Chain. He's going to get his rushing work. And I'm still stuck on that. I'm still on the coin flip. Gov might have convinced me otherwise that A-Chain's just going to be better than Henry. He has more opportunity for sure. But I don't know. I'm still stuck on that for me personally.
I do think they're going to just sledgehammer Derrick Henry into the ground. But I thought that for a while. And you can laugh at me and say, well, Logan, you used this sledgehammer and you threw it against a rock last week and it didn't work. You know what? I'll spark that thing up again.
I've played it 2 weeks and I don't want to stop now.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to know when to buy back in. And I'm buying into Derrick Henry. I'm buying into that body of work. And guess what? That opportunity cost just got better and better without Lamar Jackson. I don't care.
I could definitely see Henry, especially with him being lower owned than like a A-Chain or a Gibbs or even Taylor or some of these other high end guys. So
and I think I'll just overweight
same price or cheaper. I could definitely get on some Henry. I could definitely see that.
That's my 50-50. That's the only thing I'd say about it. But that's in my personal lineup where I had an awkward salary at running.
And I might have a lineup after I get through all my builds. I might have a lineup with Henry, and it might end up as one of my 3. But I also know I'm building with A-Chain already.
Yeah.
Based off of first look and what I'm hearing, I'm already building with A-Chain. So why not start there?
I am going to do same position. It's probably going to be chalky, but I think it's great value. I love the talent.
Running back hits. It's fine.
4,700 Rachaad White. He's a starter this week.
Thank you.
I said there's White or Michael Carter.
There's
Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle, yes. Yeah.
But we're playing A-Chain already, so I have no interest.
Dueling running back will be if you think Rico will pull ownership and A-Chain will pull ownership, pulling ownership together may not be one thing because people don't like playing.
People don't like to do it, but I will be doing it this week.
I could see getting to it at one point, but in this lineup, I didn't want to go there. And I do like I have a soft spot for Rachaad White, so it's something.
I'm playing a lot of him.
I've already played White this year, actually. I played him once. It didn't work out. It didn't fail, but it didn't win me anything. So it's the PMR, 4 o'clock.
I knew it was. And I would just sound like a broken record because I'm playing a lot of White. Obviously, I think these are probably 2 of the more consensus picks, in terms of the game environments we want to. It just makes sense by the numbers. Carolina gives a lot to the running backs. White has a lot of opportunity. I like this pick. Gov, you got anything?
Well, I mean, Seattle's rush defense is actually pretty good this year. So, like, that would be my one thought is, like, yes, you're getting good value and workload, so I'm okay with it. But Seattle's not a defense I'm trying to
If another cheap guy goes off, it's gonna be something we regret.
Hey, look,
Agreed.
We have a lot of Tucker because of Gov in the last round in best ball. So if Tucker wants to like win us a slate and go off, I would also like that as well.
I would also not hate Sean Tucker having like one of his
by the way,
games.
Well, we're on running back and talking about cheap guys that are getting more opportunity now, because how about a guy who's more expensive but going to be getting more opportunity? And Breece Hall, who's, he's now the one, and he doesn't have a Braylon Allen behind him. So if you wanted to go on the other spectrum of that, that's not bad either if you want to buy into the Jets offense here.
Breece Hall's kind of cheap this week. He does not look bad myself. Like, you see what you get. Logan, you get your 2 picks now, so...
Yeah. I'm just going to go with it. Like I told you, I was playing a lot of this game, a lot of the same way. I like JSN. I think he is I think he has a chance to be a number 1 wide receiver. Not number 1. I mean, number 1 overall. Like I think
he definitely looks very good.
My favorite mini stack this week for sure is this white JSN. That is my favorite mini.
Look, I think he's underpriced. I don't know. I guess it was just that bad performance, but it wasn't even really a bad performance because when the team needed him, he still showed up. I just think for some reason he wasn't the focal point of that attack. I think they wanted to get their run game, going. They did with Charbonnet, with Walker. It didn't look like a talent problem. It just looked like a scheme issue with how Seattle wanted to attack. I'm going to go right back to it. I think JSN has big weeks ahead of him. He would have probably looked fantastic against the Saints, but again, they didn't need him. So I think in a game where they actually could get pushed, which we've seen Tampa push some teams recently, this could be a blow-up game. I think this will be the lowest we get him all year. I would put a bet on that one as well.
All right, next one, Logan.
My pick, right?
Yep,
still yours. You could go quarterback here.
I'm going to go.
We each made 1 pick.
Now, we talked about numbers and projections and looking at data. You guys know I'm a Lions fan, so I don't even got to look at the numbers here to know I like this player if you know me long enough. But Jameson Williams is getting a ton of air yards. He got like 9 targets last week and just missed a couple big bombs because Jared threw one off his hands and Williams dropped it irresponsibly. And then the other one, Jared just missed him. The amount of opportunities this guy gets for his price, he's underpriced, and I'll take it.
All right,
That is a game I wanted to get a piece of, so I'm glad you put JMO in.
I have my next pick. I think it is the most criminal underprice of the week. Like I blatantly will just say I think it's so criminal what his price is considering his target and who he's going up against. Okay. I think he's playing an awful I know he's playing an awful secondary. This is the week. If he's gonna blow, and if he's this price I don't care what happens. If he is this price every week for the rest of the season, I will play him every single week. Give me Ladd McConkey 5,500 against Washington, and I get PMR with it. I think that's silly. I mean,
I like that, but I do think QJ is the number 1 in this offense. But I do think there is a chance for
he's getting 6 targets a week.
Yeah. I just think this is a good offense, Johnny. I think a lot of people are arguing whether QJ is a real
He's
guy.
a 3rd price receiver, I believe, if you want to check it. But I'm pretty sure that he's a 3rd price charger at 5,500 receiver-wise.
And he deserves it to this point. I just think the talent wins out. Go ahead, Go. I'm going to use the bathroom real fast. I'll be right back.
Oh, you left me the turn. I get 2 picks. Oh, God.
Oh, did he just fall on leave?
Oh, God.
I'm still here.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. What you gotta do. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so I'm looking at my list of stuff. It's all right here. It's written down. Okay. Did we get a Cincinnati-Detroit piece? Yes, we have JMO. Okay. Did we account for the Dallas Jets game in this lineup yet? No. No, we have not. So I would like to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the Indy Vegas game that also has a high total that I think will play to what it needs to. I kind of want to account for that. That being said, I want to just jam our stack in right now because we have it built, and I don't hate any other part of this lineup. But if I jam this stack in, we're going to have money. So I just have to let you guys deal with how you're going to spend money at tight end and defense.
I got a defense to spend on.
You're going to have money to spend. Or do I just take 2 good players and account for that?
I think we have so much raw points already. You can do whatever.
I think we do. We also don't A-Chain might be owned. I've heard JMO getting steamed, and Njigba looks like he's a top pay-up option. It seems kind of chalky, so I want to go a little to stack or to just play the good ones. That's rough.
I missed the players' names, but I heard a lot of the analysis, Gavin, so that would make this question interesting. It's I think we're contrarian enough with Lyle McConkey, but I feel like he could smash. And that's what I love about this lineup is just how much superstars we have at the chance of, because what is it, 150? Talking about numbers, what do we need basically to cash or get min? Is it 150, 160? I think we can get that with these blocker players.
Yeah, it's just, do I jam in 2 more really good players, or do I just get our stack that looks good this week?
Let's take a timeout then. Hold on. Do you think, with all the tie point totals and how many games that we think will be high scoring, do you think you need to really stack this week, or do you just go with the highest point?
That is the real question. Is do I need to even worry about the stack?
Are you overthinking it because you want to stack, but all these games should score?
It's a good challenge. I mean, that's what I was talking about, our pushback and learning from each other. And maybe I do need to take that advice, but I will probably always stack the rest of my DFS career. Maybe that's.
I think this is a rare week, though.
I think we'll account a little bit. You guys can help account for that Dallas Jets game.
Mm-hmm.
But basically our lineup is built around those next tier of games down from Dallas Jets, Indy, Vegas. It's the Washington Chargers, it's the Tampa Bay Seattle, it's Miami Carolina. It's that next set down, but we do have a Detroit piece, which is good. So I want you guys to try to account for Dallas and the Jets if you can in some way.
Yep.
But I'm gonna put in the stack. My 2 picks are gonna be Bryce Young and Ted McMillan.
Okay.
Miami's defense does not look good this year.
They don't.
They're on my list of defenses to attack. And Carolina syncs up with having a top 10 still offensive line in terms of limiting quarterback pressures.
You know why?
It's 8,
the next one
but it is
10.
still top 10.
I wanted to pull up the receiving core to show here because if Leggett plays this week, I think it benefits our young stack because no one else will play with him. I just don't see how this fails, Gov, to your point, because it's if Carolina is as bad as we think they might be, or some people think they are, then they're going to have to throw a lot. Young already has a lot of athleticism and running ability. He's at a price where it's really hard for him to fail. Seriously.
Yeah, that's cheap. We're getting a sub 5K.
Yeah.
And that's usually a backup. That's usually a backup, but he's a complete starter. We've seen him get 25 points, 26 points this year.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible he has that, especially if A-Chain is putting up points and pushing in the game environment. I don't hate any other part of this lineup so far. Again, I would love to account for Dallas and the Jets somehow, but that's up to you guys. And at 5K per with a defense and a tight end, you literally can play any tight end and any defense, and then we'll have money to play around.
Is it my pick or yours?
It's mine, and I'm just going to go with the best defense on the board. I mean, they're playing significantly the worst offense. Their defensive line is going to kill this. I feel bad for this quarterback.
Okay.
Just give me the Lions. I mean, that they might score 20 this week.
Yeah, we got money because my favorite tight end this week is Ferguson, so it just worked with Gov, so I just plugged it in right there. So we have money to play with now. Do we go up at quarterback just because we can? We could leave money on the table, but I think leaving almost 2,000 would be a mistake.
I think the clear move is to get off White. I think that's quite obvious what we do here. Much or White or JMO. White. So I'm willing to get off White.
The three guys I would move off of would either be White, JMO, or the quarterback, and I would rather move off of White or JMO. JMO, I think, will be lower owned, but he might be steamed. White is probably going to be chalky. So, like, who else could White be? Because if he's chalky, I already like the lineup. So White could literally be anyone. Whereas JMO, I wouldn't want to just plug in some chalk.
But Logan, if you switch this, you could go Pickens if we could change tight end. If you could that, we still get that Dallas piece that we like.
We could go Pickens and then like a Sam Laporta.
Right.
We could do that.
I think
could do that. Or what was the other one? I just want to play it out so people can see.
You put JMO back in, and then it would be getting off.
Take out White.
That puts us
and
at
that gets us to.
I
don't want to play.
Now we could do Javante and still get off Ferg for Laporta.
Right.
Or we just pay down at defense and we could still get up to any of those other running backs.
You know why I don't like this range, honestly? Because I think the cheap running backs are good, and I really like Monty this week.
Agreed. Like, there are many other cheap running backs than Rashad White I like.
I would
playing Michael Carter. I wouldn't mind playing Monty. I wouldn't mind playing if I moved up to Monty,
what would that look like? Would you get off? Would you want to do that,
you
Logan?
Would still have money.
I could do that, and I'll tell you why in just a minute if you guys would spare me, because I do think this is one of the narrative weeks that could actually be very. But
you'd have to get off JMO. That's why I'm asking you.
JMO, yeah, I could do that.
Now you're.
I know what it is. I know what the play is. I know what it is. It's
Garrett
so
Wilson.
Obvious. Yeah.
It's Garrett Wilson for me.
Yeah.
I think it might be Courtland
God.
myself, although, like I said, Quinyon Mitchell probably shuts him down. But, it's Garrett Wilson would be Yeah.
I was actually looking for an opportunity to tell you guys this story. So I didn't know how valuable it is. And narratives can kind of go one way or the other. Some people like to have fun with birthday narratives. But then there are other narratives that just mean something. And Dan Campbell is the type of coach and the type of emotional coach to really give a damn about this. So just spare me just for a second. I didn't know this going into the week, so I might get some of the details wrong here. But David Montgomery has never played in Cincinnati, but he's from Cincinnati. But he has a sister who has like an immune problem or an illness, and she couldn't see a lot of his games. I believe this will be her first time watching him in her home state because obviously it's harder for her to travel. She's had some limitation issues. So she's going to be at this game. It means a lot to him. He's even spoken about it in an interview if you guys want to go back and I think it was Kay Adams of FanDuel. So I would almost guarantee Dan Campbell's the type of guy who's going to give him an extra goal line carry if he gets the opportunity, and it's a perfect opponent to do it. And I just like the vibes behind it. And
we pair a running back with our defense. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think this will go low owned because everyone will say, well, Gibbs, and that's true. And there's just so much value at running back elsewhere that this could be a perfect late hammer.
Yeah. Let's see. McConkey's late hammer, and Jigba's late hammer, Monty in defense. So we got four, half the lineup is a late hammer around a Miami, Carolina, Dallas, Dallas and Jet game stack.
Yeah, I just figured
I like this a lot. For the sake of the lineup, all hail PMR. Please switch Tet McMillan with either Lad McConkey or JSN. Specifically JSN because he has more value. He has more salary to put in your flex.
It's true. We actually need to do that. Now, we do talk sometimes. We will make changes. We did a couple weeks ago with our tight tight end and made a change. So it is valuable. Not enough people do it, but I do think you should take advantage of late swap. You know what is annoying though? People talk about doing it, but then they don't do it. So like, I do think you should evaluate your lineup between that 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock window more. I mean, I even should do it more than I do. So there's that. But given my disability and given, your guys' ability to caretake and have humanity, I just figured you'd love that story about David. And like, even if there is a slight possibility that's true, he's already a good player already, just from what he's done for this team, what he's done for, and so like, you're going to just add more extra motivation to a team that looks like Cincinnati, by the way, in a press conference. Taylor basically said that they weren't even considering going to the backup quarterback. That just seems silly to me. Like you wouldn't try the backup quarterback. Like there's no talk of. I mean, I've heard about it on shows like.
Browning's not the problem. That's the issue. Like the issue is that offensive line, you can't do anything with it. It's not his fault that he gets sacked in 2 seconds.
I think he sucks.
I mean, I agree he sucks, but like I think the third string sucks even more. Like that, you could argue I can trade for somebody, but like, what is trading for? What draft stock on a team that's going to not win?
Hope, Donnie. It gives you hope. He sounded dead. He sounded like a dead fish. Like I'm doing something. I don't know. Maybe I'm more of a Campbell when I'm just trying to motivate my team. But the reason I like the Lions more so, and I smashed that 9.5, is just that he sounded like he was already fired when I listened to that press conference, and that's the kind of game I like to attack with a backup running back. So I love the David call as well. Gov, you want to mention anything?
No, I really like that lineup. Like I might build something similar to that.
It's scary how much
on the Monty stuff. I already have him in my stuff. I'm already playing Garrett Wilson with Ferg, or Garrett Wilson with Pickens, or Garrett Wilson with Javante, or Breece Hall with any of those Dallas guys too, to account for it. Because I don't really want, like, if everyone's stacking Fields, I think I would either stack Dak or just go with one-offs from that game, personally.
And we got a piece of that game though. Like if Fields Shaw hits, we're still going to be fine. Maybe we don't win a ton of money. Maybe we're not in that top tier, but we should still profit because Garrett Wilson is so target dense. Like he gets so much targets and so much.
Same thing with Ferguson. Ferguson's been getting amazing targets. Like I had 45-something% Ferguson in my best ball this year, and it's starting to pay off.
And the only reason I think his price is at that level, Gov, if I was looking at the numbers, just like his only default or his only setback is just the touchdowns. But if he gets the touchdowns, which I actually think
the second he has a 2-touchdown day, he'll have 35, 40 points, and then he'll be 6K.
Right.
He'll be McBride. He'll be Bowers. He'll be that the rest of the year.
Yeah. And at a position that's so vulnerable anyways, like in terms of like what you expect, I just think Ferguson has the safest floor of anyone. Like I even think he has a safer floor than McBride. It's just McBride has a much better ceiling. But in terms of, I can almost plug in 12 points. And I think that's so valuable.
I do like the Laporta call. I think I like Laporta a lot this year. Or this week specifically. Yeah, it's a great week for the Lions for all the guys that almost were there or that need a confidence boost. Like this could be a week where you just tone down St. Brown and be like, you know what? We know what we got in him. He's feeling good. Let's get these other guys feeling, good. That's also why I like the Jamison call, just because he was like a fingertip away from 2 touchdowns, legitimacy. Donnie, you got any late breaking news on? I see you messing with the phone there. Is there any news you got for us?
No. I'm setting other lineup stuff. I'm changing some stuff after our conversations as well. I feel like I didn't have enough Dowdle, so I'm trying to find a way to pair him in. Things like that.
I love this
Michael Carter.
This lineup to me though is my favorite lineup going into the slate, and it almost gives me, because we built on Friday, we didn't have much pushback. We basically just agreed. Now last week, if you guys watch us, we disagreed on a lot. It took us 5 or 10 minutes to even have a show pick because we couldn't agree on it. And this lineup just came together. We didn't even fight about it. We didn't even really argue about changes. It was maybe this will be the week. So anything else you want to mention?
I just love this week. I mean, honestly, there's so much I like about this week.
Yeah.
God, I just switch out McConkey for like Keenan or QJ.
Don't.
I could go down from Ferg to.
Gov, you know I've been a QJ fan. I mean, I was on QJ when he was like really terrible just because I saw the talent. You know, we have him in the best ball. That became kind of a bit for us. I truly think QJ is still the number one, and Ladd McConkey just adds to that offense. Like so many people always are like, oh, well, he's not the number one. Why would you pay for that? Like this is an offense where I think both wide receivers could thrive. Their pass, numbers are just way up. They're passing the ball. They're not running like everyone thinks they are. You know, I like this offense.
There's something about having an old vet who knows your quarterback and can get to the right spot that's helpful. Mm-hmm. I think Keenan Allen truly helps that passing offense more than Like if it were still just QJ and McConkey, it probably would just be dump offs to McConkey all day, just like it was last year.
Yep. No, Keenan has changed the offense 100%.
Keenan gives someone that Herbert can look at so that now you're looking back to these QJ throws that are more open.
Yeah.
And you don't need to dump it off to McConkey all the time, so it makes McConkey look worse. Not that he's not out there running routes and still can't do what he does. He's just not getting – last year he was doing that and getting all of Keenan's work. Now they have a true, like, three-man rotation.
I like
every dude gets 8 or 9 targets, and he throws it 30 times a game.
I like Ladd so much already. We already have him in best ball, so, like, it would just – for me to like try to find another reason to like him I don't need one. But now I started thinking about it. They are without 2 offensive linemen, I believe. They lost them in the Giants game. So they might just have a shorter passing game and rely more on slants and drags and easier throws for Herbert. To me, that just speaks to Ladd as well. So if you wanted
that's Ladd and Keenan all day in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So Donnie, any last thoughts?
No, I'm good. I mean, I think this is going to be a good week. I think my cold streak ends this week officially, and we're back.
I think Gov hit on a sneaky game stack that most people will go underlook. I think this Carolina game could be terrible. Like maybe both teams are terrible. Maybe they're not good teams. I think that leads to good fantasy points. I'm playing a lot of Waddle. That's a guy we didn't mention. For a cheap guy, we didn't also mention Washington's a fun guy. There's tons of fun cheap
Troy
options.
Franklin for Denver.
We do have a comment, by the way. Fantasy season long. It just came through, so.
Oh, let's see.
Probably can just pull up live comments.
I'm assuming that's Zay Flowers.
Yeah, it's Zay Flowers.
Sure. Oh. The first one. If I have to pick one, I'd pick the first one, but I wouldn't give.
It's hard for me to trade 2 running backs for 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like that's a little rough.
I would, if you're selling Kamara because of his age and I would understand that, but I would not give up like Charbonnet for Diggs because that's kind of what you're asking me. Would I give up Charbonnet for Diggs as well? No.
Here's I won't even answer your question. I'll just give you a different angle to at least consider and make your own decision. I would like Kamara on my team because I think he will get traded. Personally, I believe he will get traded to a contender, a team like Arizona. I think is very live to get a Kamara, and his value would, skyrocket, and he'd be more competitive. So I would lean on that angle, but you have to.
Or like a Washington.
What's that, Danny?
Or a Washington.
Right. So whatever you're using for liking or disliking.
Question 2 or comment 2 makes it make sense. Yeah.
Okay, that's why you need the receivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would get Flowers. I would just say get Zay Flowers, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do Kamara for Zay. I don't know if you need to do Sharp for Diggs right now.
Yeah, that's chasing.
Tyreek injury, like Odunze comes back, you'll be fine.
You know, you have Isaiah Bond waiver wire if you're getting rid of like a tail.
I'm high on Zay myself, but you don't need Kamara with Gibbs, Judkins, and Jacobs.
Yeah.
To go back to the original, I got a lot of Diggs. I was very encouraged with him having over 100 yards receiving this week. So, there's reasons to like or dislike this trade, but I think given your scenario, what you just explained to us, it makes sense to do that because of your running back room.
Yeah, you got to sell a little bit of extra talent for just somebody who can get you something.
But I like Charbonnet's upside future-wise because I still don't believe Ken Walker lasts the whole season. We've already seen Sharp come in and be fine and good, although he also has his little ifs. But like, Kamara's the real true iffy because if he gets traded, he's gonna have a higher value than what he does now.
But Gibbs,
and
Judge,
so
Jacobs
for him might be a little off-putting. But you do need an extra receiver with Tyreek going down. Yeah. So I can understand getting a receiver of Zay's caliber is a plenty good replacement.
You have 3 starting running backs and 1 rotational guy in Charbonnet. Like, you're fine at running back, 100%. You're good.
And just to pull back and make it about like football in general, like that's where the ifs, ands, or buts have to make sense. Like as long as you're doing it for an exact reason and you're like, hey, I think Kamara gets traded, therefore I don't want to trade him, or like I think he'll stay on the Saints. Maybe that's the reason you want to get rid of him. Whatever that reason is, just make sure it makes sense in the lineup. Make sure it makes sense with your team. I think those are all valuable things. So yeah, and he definitely needs a receiver. So that obviously changes the dynamic.
But don't forget waiver wire young guys. Isaiah Bond, he now has to step up in wide receiver 3 role at worst. I mean, there's guys out there who's
as information changes, Donnie, your opinion has to change. And like I know it's a bit and it's funny. I laughed.
No, you don't. You have Kendre as a secondary back. Like you're fine to trade Kamara.
Yeah, you're fine. Actually,
honestly, you should shop around and see if there's someone slightly better than Zay you can get for Kamara. Just see what you can. But if that's the best offer you can get, I'm fine shipping Kamara for a receiver. He's a good asset to move, and he can probably still get you a decent receiver.
We might play in the same league because I picked up Isaiah Bond, and that proves my point. Later,
I have him on the bottom of a guillotine league still. Actually, I think I have to start him this week.
Earlier this season, I laughed at Donnie. I'm like, no, that guy. As new information changes, you have to change as well, and you have Miller, so actually a Kamara trade would benefit you to get rid of him for value now. Hope he gets traded. You have Miller, then you end up with 2 starting running backs. You even at a stronger point at that point. Speaking of endpoints, though, I think we should probably get out of here. We said enough. We didn't have any hard outs, so we went a bit longer. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you like and subscribe on your way out. It does mean a lot if you want these shows to continue. If you don't, downvote it. That still helps us, at least until we do this no longer.
No, please don't do that. Please, no, stop. Don't listen. Damn, no.
Hey, if you leave me a comment, I will respond. But if it's terrible,
that's true.
If it is terrible, I will delete it. So go ahead and waste my time. It's all right. Either way, interact with us. It's all the same. Hopefully we help, though. Good night, guys. Good day. Good afternoon. Whatever it is. See you later.
Peace out, everyone.